And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. That's Genesis 5:24, and you have found Elmira Baptist Church's weekly update for September 28th, 2023. Thank you for joining me today. And that is our verse that we're going to look at for our devotional here in a few minutes. Genesis 5:24, and Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Let me read you a quote by Jonathan Edwards. He said this: "The enjoyment of God is the only happiness with which our souls can be satisfied. To go to heaven fully to enjoy God is infinitely better than the most pleasant accommodations here. Fathers and mothers, husbands, wives, or children, or the company of earthly friends are but shadows. God is the substance. These are scattered beams, but God is the sun. These are but streams, but God is the ocean." Let me go back to that first sentence. The enjoyment of God is the only happiness with which our souls can be satisfied. Don't want you to lose sight of that. We'll come back to Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him at the end. Don't miss this coming Sunday. In the morning, we're going to have Dr. Livioko and his wife with us, and he's going to speak to us at the Sunday school hour. Both adult classes, the teen class, they're all going to be in here. We're going to meet in here anyway, as we always do. 9:45, kick off our Sunday school assembly. We'll peel off some of those other classes, and then the rest of you can stay here and hear Dr. Livioko speak. He has got a lot on his plate, and I hope he will tell us a little bit about how we can pray for him, the projects that he has, so you don't want to miss that Sunday school hour. Then he's also going to be with us for our morning worship there at 11 o'clock, and he's going to preach to us in the morning. So please come. After that morning worship, we're going to have a brief church-wide meeting to sign up for the food for our Thanksgiving banquet. So a lot of things going on this coming Sunday morning, October 1st. You don't want to miss it. Then in the evening, we'll meet at 5 o'clock, as we do, for our evening worship. And I want to preach to you about dying to self. Dying to self. And read John chapter 12, verses 23 through 33. John 12, 23 through 33. And ask God to prepare your heart for the message. Because candidly, this message runs counter to everything we hear as Americans. But you come and hear it and see for yourself what God wants to do in my life and in your life. Here are some other upcoming events. On Sunday, October 1st, as I mentioned, Brother Livioko is going to be with us. He's from the Philippines. And then after the morning worship, we'll have that church-wide meeting to sign up for the food for the Thanksgiving banquet. Saturday, October 7th is our Widow's Day, and I need to ask you, did you sign up? If you are not a widow or widower, and you can come and help on that day, please put your name on the sheet. If you are a widow or a widower and you need some work done around your house, please let me know what that is so that I can get that covered. And then on Friday, October 13th, our Forever Be Sure Ladies Quartet is going to be with us. That's a Friday night. And then Sunday, October 15th, missionary Dan Armacost will be with us in the evening. On Friday and Saturday, November 3rd and 4th, is the 2-minute warning. This is a meeting for men in North Highlands, just north of Sacramento. I want to encourage you men to come. That's a Friday and a Saturday. Friday night, most of the day Saturday. You can sign up just for Friday. You can sign up just for Saturday. You can sign up for all of it. But you go to the2minutewarning.org. Don't miss the THE at the beginning. The2minutewarning.org to sign up for that. And then Sunday, November 12th, is our Thanksgiving banquet. Put that on your calendar. Sign-ups for help have already been posted. Sign-ups for food are this weekend. And sign-ups to attend are out as well. Please sign up, you and any guests you might have, because we are going to have to cap the attendance at 200. That's the goal. Well, the goal is to fit everyone in. But if we have more than 200 people, we're not going to fit them. So that's what we're going to cap our attendance at. Keep in mind, there's a trio of love offering opportunities coming up. The first is for Brother Livioko on October 1st. The second is that Forever Be Sure Ladies Quartet will take a love offering there on Friday, October 13th. And on Sunday, October 15th, we'll take a third love offering for Brother Armicos. So please keep that in mind as you plan your giving for the month of October. Now let's come to our devotional from Genesis 5:24. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. I just want to focus on that first statement. And Enoch walked with God. Now, to understand that statement, let's think about our own lives. And have you ever taken a walk, a long walk, not a 2-minute walk, but a longer walk, maybe a mile, maybe 2 miles, maybe 5 miles? Now you're getting into hikes and things, but have you ever taken a long walk with someone whom you loved? Maybe it was on a mountain path. California has some beautiful countryside to walk through. Maybe it was on a beach. I particularly enjoy walking along the beach, my feet in the sand, the ocean waves crashing, and it's just a comforting sound, a relaxing sound. But walking on a beach by myself is nothing to be compared with walking along a beach with someone that I love and enjoy spending time with. Because first of all, when you walk with someone, you have a sense of their presence. They're right there next to you. And when you walk with someone, there's a shared direction. You can't be walking north along the beach and they're walking south along the beach and be walking together. No, you have to share a direction. You have to be going in the same direction. And not only that, but you have to share the same pace. Now, my legs are longer than my wife's legs, so if my wife and I are going to take a walk together, I've either got to slow down or she's got to speed up. Because if I take as many steps as she does at the stride that I normally do, pretty soon I'm going to be ahead of her. So when you walk with someone, there's a deliberate thought to share the same pace, not to get ahead and not to fall behind. When you walk with someone, there's a shared experience. Go back to walking along the beach, your feet in the sand. Well, the person you're walking with has to have their feet in the sand too, don't they? There's the rumble of the ocean, the waves, the breakers crashing. And they have to hear that too, don't they? One time I took a walk along the beach and it started raining. And guess what? The person walking with me experienced the rain just like I did. If the sun's out, they experience the same sun as you do. There's a shared experience. I think one of the most fun things, the most enjoyable things for me about taking a walk is the chance for conversation. A mutual sharing of thoughts and concerns and observations and perceptions. You don't always agree at first. In fact, you don't have to agree at all. But as you share and you hear the other person share, oftentimes you come to a meeting of the minds there. So when we say Enoch walked with God, what are we saying? Well, first of all, if you walk with God, then you have to have a sense of his presence. I remember my daughter recently came to me and somebody, a cult had approached her and said, "Do you sense God's presence in your life?" She said, "Every day." And I have to admit, if you are walking with God, you realize he's right there beside you. In pain and sickness, he's there beside you. In joys and triumphs, he's there beside you. In just the average, mundane, regular days, God's there beside you when you walk with God. There's a shared direction when you walk with God. You have to be going the same direction God is. You can't be going off on your own path. You can't be doing your own thing. Hey, God, come on over here, join me. No, God is God. He's the omnipotent one. He's the sovereign one. He's the independent one, independent of his creation. If we are going to walk with God, we have to share his direction. We have to share his pace, not be running ahead of him, eager to arrive at a destination ahead of him, nor falling behind, just waiting and hoping that he changes his mind on where he's going. No, there has to be a shared direction and a shared pace. And as there's a shared direction and a shared pace, we share the experience of life with God. That's why that verse just strikes right to my heart. That Jesus was in all points tempted like as we are, and yet without sin. He knows our infirmities because God experiences them with us. Now, I can't comprehend that. As a human being, I can walk alongside someone and share their experience to a degree. But remember, God lives in my heart. The Holy Spirit's right there. He knows my thoughts and my motivations. He knows what buffets me and what encourages me. And we're sharing this experience of life together when I walk with God. And then when I walk with God, there is that conversation, that long conversation. Yes, sometimes I'm focused on other things, but there's oftentimes the phone rings, I look at who it is, and I say, God, let's talk real quick. There's bad news, and I stop what I'm doing, and I say, God, let me bring this to you. There's good news, and I stop and I say, God, thank you for this. There's that long conversation, a mutual sharing of thoughts and concerns and observations and perceptions, and guess what? God shares his observations and perceptions and his thoughts with me, his concerns with me, as I open his word every day. And then as I meditate on his word. So when we walk with God, we must welcome his holy presence into our lives. We must follow alongside him, sharing his footsteps, walking at the same pace as he is, experiencing life with him, and sharing that long conversation. His thoughts, his concerns, and his observations with us. Our thoughts, our concerns, our observations with him. Are you walking with God? That's the question. Are you walking with God? Don't stay away from our church meetings this weekend. It's an important weekend for us as we have the Thanksgiving banquet food sign-up sheet this weekend. Dr. Livioco is with us. You don't want to miss Sunday school at 9:45. You don't want to miss morning worship at 11 or the evening worship at 5 o'clock. I'll be here, by God's grace. You be here too.